And anyone who differs with that is suffering from a disease called homophobia. Yeah, that's it. And on this side of the world, Russia said they banned it for 100 years. Illegal. Homosexuality is illegal in Russia. And in the Orthodox Christian world. That is evidence. Russia is returning to her Christian faith. And that Russia is also a very powerful state. It is a nuclear state. It is capable of waging war. And we did all of this to tell you that from our perspective using the Quran, we are now on the verge of momentous events in history when power is going to be used one more time in the region of the Black Sea, in which Crimea is located, to teach the oppressor a lesson that he will never forget, to punish the oppressor, and to reward those who have faith and who are righteous in conduct. They want to wage war on Russia. And Russia is saying, we're not afraid of you. No, we're not afraid of you. And Russia has warned, don't mess with nuclear Russia, says Putin. Don't mess with nuclear Russia. If you want war, you'll get war. Russia has just intervened in Syria. We don't have the time to go to the Arab Spring. We don't have time to go to Libya. So we've got to cut out that to come to Syria. For 1 year, NATO has been waging war, aerial war, on ISIS, the Islamic State. The Islamic State, which receives its weapons and receives its money from the CIA and from Turkey, which is a NATO member state, and is therefore waging what would be called a CIA jihad, but I prefer to give it a more colorful name. I call it a Yankee jihad. This Islamic State. And they are dropping bombs on them for 1 year now. 1 year now, NATO, the biggest, largest, most powerful military force in the whole world, is waging war on ISIS for 1 year now. And for 1 year, ISIS is becoming stronger and stronger. So NATO, who are you fooling? Huh? Do you think us to be donkeys? So Putin waited for 1 year. And then he did two things. He got an official request from the Syrian government for assistance. The government of Syria is calling on us for assistance. And he went to the Russian parliament, and the Russian parliament gave him authority to respond and accept and to intervene. They didn't do that. Britain didn't do that. France didn't do that. And so Russia entered through the front door. They entered through the back door. And the Russian Air Force has been waging strikes for 3 weeks now. And in 3 weeks, Russia has already achieved more than NATO could have achieved in 1 year. So who are you fooling? Who are you fooling? They cannot allow Russia to destroy ISIS. No. Number one, because ISIS is their baby. They created ISIS. And they have plans for ISIS. They want to send Saudi Arabia into the garbage bin. And they want ISIS to take over from Saudi Arabia. So ISIS must park itself in Mecca and Medina with a new Khilafat. You know, the Yankee Khilafat. And ISIS must control the Hajj and so on. And all the donkeys in the world of Islam will accept that. All the donkeys in the world of Islam will accept that. That is Islam. Let me repeat it, so you won't be in any doubt about me, all the donkeys in the world of Islam, that's what I said, the donkeys in the world of Islam will accept that. But not those who have eyes and can see, and who have ears and can hear, who have some understanding. We're not fools. It's a Yankee jihad. They cannot allow Russia to destroy ISIS. That's their baby. Secondly, it will be too great an embarrassment for them. The Russia who they're trying to isolate and make Russia look like the devil, Russia is able to come on the stage of the world and achieve a spectacular victory in the full daylight of history and make NATO look like a bunch of fools. They can't allow that to happen. So then what will they have to do? Answer? They'll have to respond, whether they like it or whether they don't. They'll have to up the ante. They'll have to escalate the conflict. They'll have to find some excuse to intervene militarily to respond to the Russian intervention. And when they up the ante, Russia will come back and up the ante again. Because Russia is saying, we're not afraid of you. So where is this going to lead to? Answer? The Prophet ﷺ spoke about the Malhama. And he identified where the Malhama will take place. In that region of the world between Damascus and Turkey. That's where it's going to take place. And that's where the parties are already in place. I don't think Russia wants nuclear war. I don't think the American armed forces want nuclear war. No. America much prefers to wage war in Libya. Because you can wage war in Libya and go home and have dinner. But not Russia. Nuclear war means that they will use every single nuclear weapon that they have. It will be all-out war to the finish. And nuclear weapons don't destroy so many buildings as they destroy people. So there's going to be a war in which most of those who are fighting will be killed. You think the American armed forces want such a war? How many will be killed in this war that's coming? Has our Prophet spoken about it? Yes, he has. Tell the schoolboy for me. The Prophet has spoken about a war in which 99 out of every 100 will be killed. It's there in Sahih Bukhari. And if you go to YouTube and look at my lectures on Islam, the petrodollar and Russia's tryst with destiny, you'll see my analysis of that hadith. 99 out of every 100 will be killed? Can't be conventional warfare. No. Conventional warfare don't kill so many people. But nuclear weapons do. Nuclear weapon kills people. Yeah. So it looks very much as though it has to be a nuclear war in order for 99 out of every 100 to be killed. If you say to me that there are no nuclear weapons in the world, by all means you can keep on offering your viewpoint and try to get mankind to accept your viewpoint. But don't try to silence me. That's not fair. I don't stop you from giving your viewpoint. Why should you stop me ramming your views down my throat? No. No, that's not the way. If you say there are no nuclear weapons, there will be no nuclear war. By all means, certainly, do please offer your viewpoint and give the proof to support your viewpoint. Do it in a respectable way and let the people decide. Don't try to stop me and stampede me and silence me. That is not the right way. So yes, I'm saying that it is now inevitable that nuclear war is coming. We cannot avoid it. Not because Russia wants nuclear war. Not because NATO wants nuclear war. No, none of them want nuclear war. But because somebody else wants nuclear war. Who is the somebody else? Somebody else is someone who wants to succeed the United States as the next ruling state in the world. The Judeo-Christian Zionist Alliance knows it. They want Israel to replace the United States as the next ruling state in the world. So that in the same way that Pax Americana replaced Pax Britannica, you have read Jerusalem in the Quran, haven't you? If you don't know English, we have it in Bahasa outside now. Okay? In the same way that Pax Americana replaced Pax Britannica, so too Pax Judaica will replace Pax Americana. The US dollar is now in irreversible decline. The United States as a world power is now in irreversible decline. And Putin knows that. And Israel is preparing to replace the United States. But Israel is small, and the world is big. How can Israel rule the world? Yes, we can understand the United States. But how can Israel rule the world? Answer, either Israel has to become much bigger, or the world has to become much smaller. Which will it be? That's why they want nuclear war. That's why they want nuclear war. So that the world will become much smaller. My opinion, I can be wrong, my opinion is that you can't live in North America after nuclear war. It won't be habitable. Or Europe, no. Those will be wasteland. My opinion is that what is left of the world after the nuclear war would be a world that is small enough for Israel to manage. And therefore, we see a passage now from Russia to NATO, to Syria, to the Malhama, to Akhir Al ZAMAN. And you know what happens after Israel takes over from the United States? The Dajjal's day like a week will begin. And when the week is ended, then the Dajjal will appear in human form. You also know that after the Malhama, there's going to be another very important event. What is that? The conquest of Istanbul. Oh, not Istanbul. The conquest of Constantinople will take place after the Malhama. Tell that to the people of Turkey for me, because they've been so brainwashed by 500-600 years of Ottoman garbage that they believe that Sultan Muhammad Fatih is the one who conquered Constantinople and fulfilled the prophecy of Prophet Muhammad ﷺ. Wrong, wrong, wrong. The conquest of Constantinople will take place after the Malhama. When that conquest of Constantinople takes place, the Bosphorus will be free of NATO, and the Russian Navy will then be able to pass through the Bosphorus into the Mediterranean. And that is a part and parcel of the effort which is going to liberate the Holy Land. When Nabi Isa alayhi salam comes, and Imam al-Mahdi comes, and the truth will triumph over all rivals, and justice will triumph over injustice and oppression. And with that, I thank you for your kind attention. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا يا مولانا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين آمين.